Which MBTI type is Jordan B. Peterson? Jordan B. Peterson is a clinical psychologist and professor of psychology at the University of Toronto. He was born June 12, 1962 in Edmonton, Canada. His new book 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, is a guide for navigating the game of life. His first book, Maps of Meaning, The Architecture of Belief, was published in 1999 and explores the motifs, symbols and myths created by various cultures and what they reveal about the human psyche. Around October 2016, Dr. Peterson's popularity skyrocketed after becoming embroiled in drama surrounding a Canadian piece of legislation called Bill C-16. Peterson decried the bill, which if enforced, would require individuals by law to use preferred gender pronouns or potentially face prosecution for hate crime. Peterson opposed the bill as a violation of free speech and released a 3-part lecture video series outlining his stance on the issue. In 2012, Jordan Peterson tweeted a Washington Post article and commented why the Myers-Briggs is a cult. Washington Post gets it right. Peterson has cited the Myers-Briggs test as unreliable and stated in one of his many lecture clips posted on YouTube that the Myers-Briggs has zero predictive utility with regards to performance prediction in the workplace. Instead of the MBTI, he often refers to the Big Five when discussing psychometric personality traits. There is believed to be some correlation between the MBTI and the Big Five traits. Based on Peterson's self-reported Big Five trait profile, he may likely be an ENFJ. However, an analysis of his lectures, debates, and interviews suggest he may possibly be an INFJ, INTP, INTJ or ENTJ. Here is an assessment of Jordan B. Peterson's MBTI type based on the cognitive functions he seems to display most. 1. Extrovert or introvert? By his own admission, Jordan rates highly on scales of extraversion, openness, conscientiousness and above-average in agreeableness. In the MBTI, certain introverted types such as INFJ can appear more extroverted than they really are due to their capacity for being sociable. Jordan could be an introvert who is well-adjusted and well-socialized. His temperament is rather reserved and stalwart in interviews, and he has pointed out himself that his extraversion is mostly assertiveness. In the MBTI, extroverts are described as being more impulsive and enthusiastic. Peterson often exhibits a more reserved and pensive demeanor in intellectual discussions and sometimes takes pregnant pauses to gather his thoughts before answering a question. 2. Sensor or intuitive? Because Dr. Peterson's work focuses so heavily on an interest in symbolism and meaning, it's apparent that he has an intuitive preference, specifically that of introverted intuition. Introverted intuition strives to understand the significance and purpose behind phenomena. It goes beyond the literal and the present to interpret and predict future outcomes. Part of Jordan Peterson's opposition to Bill C-16 was out of concern for the precedent it would set and the consequences it would have on free speech in the future. The MBTI trait of intuition correlates strongly with the Big Five trait openness, and Peterson states that he rates highest in openness. Extroverted sensing could also be linked to openness, but probably more so with extraversion. His high openness score suggests that his dominant function may be either extroverted or introverted intuition. Openness and intuition are both associated with creativity and intellect, and Peterson seems very much interested in abstract ideas, representations and meanings than concrete details and sensory thrill-seeking. 3. Feeler or thinker? Jordan has said that he rates above average in agreeableness relative to other men. This, along with his work as a psychologist, could hint at introverted or extroverted feeling as a possible tertiary function. Introverted feeling seems more likely given his focus on morality and good versus evil archetypes. Much of his work is an examination of value systems and why individuals and groups value the things they do. Even the concept of truth itself, as he has argued, is entrenched in subjective value systems governing how we qualify it. Peterson has talked about the distinction between objective truths versus pragmatic ones, and that a fact, in his opinion, is not necessarily a truth. From this you could infer that Peterson is a very metaphysical thinker, and probably an NT type. In debates and lectures he cites many statistics and studies to substantiate and correlate the ideas and theories he discusses. He argues for things on the basis of evidence and logic, and is not swayed by emotional rhetoric. This suggests a strong extroverted thinking bias. 4. Judger or perceiver. Jordan Peterson has stated that he rates high on conscientiousness, more so on industriousness, less so on orderliness. In his lectures, he has often stressed the importance of scheduling and the cultivation of effective time management skills towards the fulfillment of goals. Dr. Peterson's patriarchal enjoinder for people to clean their rooms was a funny piece of advice coming from a professor. Jordan has mentioned that in his youth, he indulged in alcohol use and battled depression, and it wasn't until later that he began to regiment his life better. The drinking and the depression is consistent with INTJ or INFJ behavior when in the grip of their inferior function, extroverted sensing. In conclusion, I believe Dr. Jordan Peterson to be an INFJ due to his focus on morality and wisdom and the fact that his life's work is predominantly concerned with the improvement of people's lives and society at large through teaching and consultation. He is probably more NF than NT. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more to come.